Cost of entry into the Maasai Mara is a 2-hour-long African massage, otherwise known as a standard Kenyan dirt road. The price isn't paid with your wallet, but with the slight decrease in short-term health of your back and cognitive function. But this is all just part of the fun, without which the experience would lack character, or so you tell yourself. Death caused by wild animals. For the true adventurer, this is a fantastic and exciting welcome. Like most hopeful explorers, we had come here to witness lions making a kill.
Fingers crossed.
But the Mara, famous for its abundance of big savanna cats, stretches over some 1,500 square kilometres of land, leaving the sightings of such events to the lucky and dedicated few. We remained hopeful nonetheless. Back in 2015, I was lucky enough to see the drama of such an event unfold in this very park. 13 lions taking down a huge water buffalo. An exercise in training, I was told, for the pride's younger lions, and one in awestruck education for me. This buffalo is still very much alive. 4 years on, I'm now armed with better equipment and our expert Kenyan guide Elijah. He promised us lions but held out quiet hope for seeing a kill, suggesting we would jinx it by saying such words aloud. So with fingers crossed, we set out into the wilderness beyond the gates. The Masai Mara holds such a diverse and abundant amount of life that inside of just one day, you can't hope to take it all in. From vast dry plains to small pockets of green oasis, life displays its bare and essential nature. All creatures living a life entirely of their very own are connected to all others by the Mara's intricate ecosystem. From the obvious many to the subtle few. The large and powerful. To the small and elegant. Thunderous and threatening rain clouds. To searing, unrelenting Kenyan sun. All have a role to play, and you cannot help but be overwhelmed by the true display of how real nature is both unflinchingly brutal by necessity and breathtakingly beautiful by causality. No more than 10 minutes into our search and we'd found lions, just as Elijah had promised. At an average of 175 kilograms and a length of up to 210 centimetres, the East African male lion is an incredible sight. With teeth and paws that seem cartoonishly large and eyes that would look through you rather than at you, it made their power and brutality a reality that was easy to understand. Bathing them in a glorious warm glow, the early afternoon sun renders them sloth-like in their movements. Known for sleeping up to 20 hours a day, at this time of afternoon they were unlikely to stand, let alone hunt. We would try our luck in the early hours of the next morning, when lions are most active. But in the meantime, we take in the other wonders the park has to offer. One of the few animals large enough to confidently take on a Land Cruiser, observing a fully grown adult elephant provides you with a different kind of experience altogether. Their mannerisms and clear family bonds seem to show a great air of intelligence, and you can't help but feel a connection that is stronger with these animals than any others in the park. We're actually lucky enough to come across a calf, probably less than a year old and still very much learning the ropes from its experienced mother. Copying all of her moves. Here's a lesson in applying an all-in-one sunscreen and insect protection. get yourself all covered, Mum will usually help out. It will take this calf up to 20 years to grow as big as the other members of its family. And to get that big requires a lot of fuel. Each elephant eats as much as 150 kilos of vegetation every day. Soon enough, the elephants let us know that it was time to move on. There are an abundance of zebra throughout the Maasai Mara, migrating with the wildebeest from Tanzania. This is a part of the Great Migration, an 800-kilometre journey from southern Serengeti, which sees some 2 million herbivores crossing the Giraffe and Mara rivers to end up in the Masai Mara in August, where they'll stay for the remainder of the dry season. An estimated 260,000 of these herbivores are zebra. And when there's that many of you around, things can tend to get a little bit tense. Many of the zebra will die on the treacherous journey to get to the Mara, from thirst, exhaustion, or predation, and when they get here, the dangers are far from over. Although food and water may be in great supply here, there is still the constant threat of predators. Zebra sustain themselves by grazing on the grasslands, but the big cats of the park sustain themselves by eating the grazers. And this is something the zebra know all too well. Cheetahs have picked up the scent of the zebra. A lone zebra has a kick so powerful it can break the jaw of a crocodile, and so even by itself poses a worthy risk to the cheetah. But two zebra are now not worth the threat of injury, and soon the whole zeal is aware of the stalking cat under the tree. So this cheetah is wiser to stretch out and nap under the afternoon sun. In a nearby tree, we spot another hidden danger the zebra are yet to detect. Two female lions watching over the herd from opposing sides.
Patience has paid off and we've found a lion. It's a female lioness and she's literally just looking out over the amount of zebra and wildebeest on the plains. Maybe if we hang around long enough, we'll see something really interesting.
Both lionesses are paying attention with a very careful eye, and we feel an approach might be imminent. Seems the afternoon sun has again proved to be too much and a nap takes priority. So we move on. During the beginning and end of each day, the giraffe's feeding activity is at its peak. Using its famously long neck to reach the best foliage the tall trees have to offer. In fact, with a combination of a very efficient digestive system and a high quality vegetation that other herbivores can't reach, the giraffe requires less food than others in the same dietary category. This being said, they still manage to eat around 34 kilos of vegetation each day. They use their long and tough tongues to strip the branches of their leaves and can quickly devastate the tree of its foliage. Then we noticed the giraffes were displaying some peculiar behaviour. This is known as necking. Like many acts of violence within animal communities, this behaviour is used to establish dominance between two males. One opponent tries to swing his ossicones into the other, using the great leverage of his neck. Although the majority of bouts won't lead to any serious injury, there have been accounts of more dire consequences and even deaths. This necking bout seems to be mostly harmless and likely is serving as play more than battle. Then, with all parties satisfied, it comes to an abrupt end. I was quite surprised to find out that after such bouts, male giraffes commonly display homosexual behaviour, from courtship and caressing of necks, even to mounting. Elijah made it quite clear and I had to double check. Giraffes are well known as being on the exclusive list of mammals that display homosexual behaviour. What a fact! The giraffes were moving on, the show was over, and just as well because Elijah got a call out over the radio of a kill on the other side of the park. If we're fast enough, we can get there in time to capture some of the lion hunting techniques. Elijah's experienced eagle eye guides us at speed across the park to a rough location heard over the radio. We all keep a hopeful eye and bated breath. And then we see the lion. But where's the kill? We've just missed out on the action. But the male leads us to its prize. A buffalo lays dormant, life flowing through its veins only minutes ago. They can grow to weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and are reported to be responsible for upwards of 100 human fatalities a year. This once very dangerous herbivore, taken down in a very characteristic way of the lion. A major wound behind the front leg makes the beast stumble and it's easier to take down. Once on the ground, it's common for lions to asphyxiate their prey by latching their entire mouth over that of their victim. This buffalo provides a generous meal for the two male lions. However, at this time of afternoon, there are so many flies around that eating alone becomes impossible, and the unwelcome guests become too much to bear. The lions will return for a late dinner when the sun is lower and the flies have thinned out. For us, this encounter signals an end to our time in the Maasai Mara, and a final drive back through the park gives us an opportunity to reflect on what a life-changing and educational experience this has been. You often hear that an African safari is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But I have a feeling it won't be too long before the cool of East Africa beckons us back to explore more of what this beautiful part of the world has to offer.